This is a watercolor demo by Ekaterina Smirnova, Part 2, Painting with Watercolor. Let's pick a soft brush, like a bristle that I have in my hand. You need to wet your brush first. In my palette I have a few colors squeezed already: blue, yellow and red. My colors are from the tube, they're soft, but if yours are dry, add some clean water in them and wait for a few minutes. I'm using my wet brush in order to take some color and transfer to the mixing area in the center of the palette. Paint a straight line. To get your brush ready for the next color, you need to clean it in the water. If you see some color left on your brush, clean it again. Pick up the next color, red, and transfer it to the mixing palette. Make a line parallel to the first one. And now I'm mixing both of the colors together. It looks like I need to add some more yellow in order to make a color in between. I'm switching to the next color, and of course I need to clean my brush very well. I'm transferring some ultramarine into the mixing palette. After painting this next line, I realized that it is too light, so I would like to add more color and make it brighter. Clean your brush and pick up the color red to mix it with blue and see what color would it turn out to be. I recommend doing these exercises before starting working on your artwork. You will get to know your colors and the way they interact with each other. Now we have one more color left. It is black. In my case it's Payne's gray. I will paint it on the center. I've been using a soft brush, but now I would like to see what I can do with a rougher brush. This time I'm not wetting my brush in the water and simply picking up my color, applying it on a dry paper. You can see that on a more wet area, the colors are spreading much easier and the lines are much softer. I would like to try the same with a different color, red. We'll apply my color first on a moist area and then on a dry area. Let's try different brush. It's a brush haki, Chinese, very soft, and replace our water with a clean one. First you need to wet your brush, and I would recommend to do it a few times to make sure that it's fully moist. And on a different piece of paper, I will moist a large area. It is important to have your water clean. I am controlling the amount of water on my brush by either wetting it again or removing the excess water on the paper towel. Water is transparent, though to see where you applied some water, look at the reflection of light. To remove excess of water, use a clean paper towel. I picked up a soft synthetic paintbrush. I will make the same line, starting from the dry paper to the wet. The difference is very obvious. On the wet paper, colors would bleed. You can also control the color flow by tilting your paper vertically. One of my favorite painting tools is a spray bottle. By spraying on a still wet paint, you'll make colors run. To remove an excess of water, I am again using a paper towel. I have waited for a few minutes to allow my paper to dry. Wet paper would be still cold on the touch. Now let's study what we have. The grains you see are the grains of the paper. And over here, color bleeded to the other color. You can also notice that when your watercolor dries, it becomes a little bit lighter. When your paper is dry, you can proceed with the second layer of painting. Now I will reapply the same colors, but this time I will make them perpendicular to the lines that I painted before. Control the opacity of the color by adding more water or more paint. Here comes my red matter. Clean your brush every time between the colors. Now I'm working with raw sienna. French ultramarine. And Payne's gray. You can clearly see the newer paint versus the older. Now allow your paint to fully dry. It is okay to use a hairdryer. Let's compare the colors. Here on the cross of red and yellow versus yellow and red. Blue and yellow versus yellow and blue.